this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin, this is Kotobuki Jake, and we're here to show you what they got. Alright, so we got some fun stuff, but unfortunately, no Gundam.
No. Which is even weirder because this is a week that is packed to the gills with re-releases.
It is.
You're going to see a lot of familiar faces this week.
Right now.
Yeah.
I think everyone should be happy.
No one's happier than I feel like reaching up to touch the sky. I'm riding on a cloud. I could sing out loud. I'm aglow and I know the reason why. No one's luckier than I. My happy heart inside is riding high. I'll tell the sun and moon that the world is in tune, and the birds all can sing a lullaby. For I'm in love, and I am loved in return. The gods above can see that I yearn for the day he takes me in his arms, when I will sigh and try not to be shy. I don't mind telling you, 'cause I know that it's true. There is no one who's happier than I. Sing to me, baby.
Get off my back, will you?
Come on, Eddie.
Okay.
Leather coat, duckbill hair, call me wild, I don't care.
Yeah, Helen, I got the quartet all set at the Hilltop House.
Don't want
Helen, I can't hear and count this jukebox.
playing it cool, real slick, having a ball with a crazy chick. Sideburns don't need your sympathy. Slow down, they tell me. How long can it last? But how can I slow down? Hey, I'm moving too fast. Save your tears. Don't cry for me. I'll get along. Just let me be. Sideburns don't need your sympathy. Sideburns don't need your sympathy.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
I don't have facts to back this up.
Right, some fun stuff. So,
Yep.
we're going to go over here. I'm going to let Jake see what's going on my screen, and we're going over here.
Okay.
You can see it pretty well?
Yep.
All right. So, of course, we got our lovely, lovely tier list, which, of course, we try and take our... This is basically the sum of our opinions, so we can give you the best accurate opinion. We have such diverging likes and dislikes. Occasionally we do hit dead on, which is why we have our priority and our hell no, which we must be in agreement for. I don't think we have probably not gotten but maybe 1 or 2 hell no's in total.
Not many, especially since we pared it down to the ones that really interest us.
Yeah, exactly. Now, priority, of course, got to get it. It's going to be on the list. If we think it's going to go out of print, we'll jump on it, even if the price.
Got to catch them all.
Yes, please. The big difference in that is we're going to we're willing to wish list that and jump on it if the price is right. But if it was a case of it's not the price we want and it will be gone forever, we'll have to let it go. Let her go. Curious, things that we look at and we think might be cool, might be interesting, might be willing to pay something for that. Meh. Well, meh.
I buy that for $1.
Exactly. Maybe $1. For free, we would take it. We would check it out. But anything more is pushing it.
Yeah.
And finally, well, as I said, hell no. It ain't going in the collection. I don't care if it's free. It ain't going in the collection. Jake has a lot of hell no's. So we got a lot to cover here. But not too bad. We actually had a very unusual month where the vast majority of our interests interceded. We actually had similar interests this month. So, let's take a look.
All right, so first up, there is an interesting large number. You said these are Target exclusives?
It looks like it. I haven't found them on any other site so far.
So Target, apparently, is hawking a whole bunch of Disney 2-packs where they have combined a live-action movie and an animated movie in one. And this one, of course, is Beauty and the Beast, the original animated classic from '91, and the less classic but still impressive live-action remake. This is actually tempting to me, especially at that price. That is not a bad price. I don't have the live-action, and I think I have the original on DVD, so it'd be a good way to upgrade them and save some space. And like I said, the remake is worth having in the collection, and it's not a bad idea to have something like this where you don't have to devote an entire space to it. It seems a little bit like you're cheating the other one out of a space, but Sure. So this one, I would definitely say I'm tempted to call this a priority because it is, the first one is an essential. The second one is debatable, but you're not wasting space on it, really. You're just, and I would like to, I'll go with priority for that.
Out of the pairings on this list, there's only one that I would say the other one drags it down significantly. But we'll get to that one as we go. But yes, I agree. Beauty and the Beast, the animated, is a priority. If you don't have it, it is there. It's one of the few animated features that broke the barrier before there was an animated category at the Oscars.
It was the only one that did, really.
So
at least in the Best Picture.
I mean, I would be willing to say that's mainly the reason why the animated feature was created. They're like, heck with that. We don't want these animated films coming in here.
Well, that was created 10 years later. Like I said, it was more directly a response to the greater prominence of animated films, but this was part of it.
So, I mean, like I said, it's probably one of their better films that Disney put out. So it is it's worthwhile. A tier. A tier. All right. So let's see if we move to
start with a priority.
So Extreme Scientific Railgun T Part 1. Now, this is in a series set that we've been seeing so far. So far in the series, you've got a scientific index, certain magical index.
Right.
And that's got 3 seasons and a movie. I still need to get.
And they are numbered. And then this one, for whatever reason, uses letters.
Yep. Railgun is a spinoff, and that one. This is the first part of the 3rd season. It's Railgun, then S, and now T. And the other one in the series is Accelerator, which stars one of the main villains of the original series. So, Index is really good. Railgun is really good. I actually like Railgun better than I do Index as a series. I have not seen Accelerator. I still need to get Railgun 3. I'm still waiting on them to release a Season 3 full set.
Right.
And I'm waiting on the same for this. But as a series, it is a priority for me. I will eventually have to get Season 3 of Railgun. Maybe not in this format, but I will eventually have to get it.
Right. I, too, am collecting this series. I still need to watch it, unfortunately. Have not gotten that far yet. I own Seasons 1 and 2 of Railgun and Index, and I have the movie for Index. I intend to watch them. I want to. I've heard so much. What's that?
I just want to put one more point on it. And by the way, if I find out they are not releasing a Season 3 set and Season 3 Part 1 or 2 are going to just disappear, I will end up having to get them in that format. Also a reason why I'm putting it as a priority. So,
it is unlikely that will be the case, but possible. And I, too, have no interest in buying the 2 parts individually, but I may do it need be. I waited for ages on the others until they came down to a reasonable price because Funimation was milking this for all it was worth.
Yep.
And I'll probably be waiting forever for Season 3 of both series. But I intend to collect them. I intend to get them. I will not let them go out of print. So if you want to call that priority, you can. Yeah. I will not pre-order it. So,
yeah,
you know.
Well, as I say, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to pre-order it. We had expanded a while back to include things that are there. But not just any old thing you wish list, obviously. Say how. Moving on.
Yep.
Let's talk about another Disney double feature.
Cinderella.
So, this is, of course, a nice little double pack for you.
Yeah, and this one, back to my turn, right?
Yep.
So, yes, we have another double pack of Cinderella, which this one's more problematic for me because I already do have the live action on Blu-ray, and I think I have the original on DVD. So it's less of a priority to get this collection. But same deal. You get the original, the 1951, 52. I can't remember when it came out. And then you have the remake from like 2015 or whenever. This was another one. Beauty and the Beast was almost a shot-for-shot remake. It was very, very close. This one, they tried to mix it up a little bit, but it was still very close. They took out the singing mice, and they did some other things very different, but it was close. And just like Beauty and the Beast, it's a visually spectacular remake. The original's just a classic. You got those great songs, you know, it's good times. Yeah, I see here you brought up the cast. Cate Blanchett does do a good job as the Frost Queen stepmother. But at any rate, good pack, good. So You don't get a huge amount of. Yeah, I didn't really see the bonus. You didn't do the bonus features on the other one.
Yeah.
This one gives you more on the new one than it does on the old one, doesn't it? But still not a lot of bonus features. There's a few. But definitely, again, a good space saver. If you don't have either of these movies, what's wrong with you?
And you said that
they are essential to the collection.
Mm-hmm.
This one I could probably put it yes, please, because it's not as crucial, but I would put it there.
And you had said that you saw. I remember you saw the original one. I mean, not the original. Yes, you saw the original Cinderella in theaters as it came out. Yes.
Oh yeah,
You're much older than
I'm old, but I'm not that old.
But you did see the remake in theaters, if I recall correctly. I remember you were, or at least.
No, I don't think I did.
There must have been somebody else. But I swear.
Actually, sadly, I think the only one I did see. I think the only one I did end up seeing in theaters, sadly, was Lion King.
From what I recall, though, you really liked this remake, which was there. So I'm willing to say yes, please. Cinderella is a classic, and I think that most people can have it, but you can wait, and you can do just as well without the live action, even though I've heard it's good. I don't need to collect the live action anytime soon. Plus, I have it.
Well, they were also both Oscar nominees, so by my definition, they have to be at least yes, please. But
yeah, no. Let's see. Yeah, moving on. All right, so my Buddha.
Speaking of quality family animation,
yeah. So this is another re-release of this. I swear they just re-released it not too long ago.
Yeah, I think so.
But Nozomi is releasing all 26 episodes, so that's both series. There are two series to this, the Amanadeo and Amanadeo, start with Akatsu. And essentially it stars this guy who is this priest in training, and he's at this shrine with a whole bunch of shrine maidens. And he has the ability to tap into an amazing spiritual power to cleanse evil spirits when he is turned on. It's an interesting series and has some of the better opening and closing songs.
Oh my, yeah, the music in this is incredible.
So, for an okay series with amazing music, it kind of balances out. And for me, I would look at this one and say, I think that, oddly enough, because of the music and because it's a good series overall, I would put it as a yes, please. I think it's one that should belong in most collections. If you like good anime music, openers and closers, and if you're a good fan of some ecchi stuff, a little bit of that.
For kids.
Yeah.
Yes, for the music alone, the series begs having in the collection. Lonesome Traveler, the ending theme from season 2, is one of my absolute favorite themes. And Happy Days from the first one is a great one too. And both openers are pretty awesome. The show itself, it's interesting. But I enjoy it, so I would say that's a solid yes, please.
All right. Moving on. Boom.
Okay. Slightly different anime. We have seasons 8 and 9 of Dragon Ball Z getting their Steelbook release this week. I don't know what more you need to say. It's Dragon Ball Z getting another release in Steelbook.
Well, in all fairness, it is the last of the series.
Yes.
9 is the last of the series. It finishes out the Majin Buu fight. You can even see it right here where he fights off the guy who was the reincarnation. And
if you want to throw down about 400 for the whole series, you can get it right now on Right Stuff for...
No, it would look nice for definite.
It would look cool.
So where would you put these on the list?
I would say it is an essential series to get. I am trying to get there one of these days. It's just so much of it.
So which one would you put it in?
Yes, please.
All right, I can agree with that. As a series, it is. I'd almost say it's a priority. I don't know if it's a priority to get in the Steelbook, but I do think the series is. But let's still go down to yes, please. So we'll keep it there.
Okay. Sounds good.
That way it'll tease all you Dragon Ball fans who are like, what? It's a priority. I voted priority. Yell at him.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty then.
So I get my first one of the Disneys. I tried to split them pretty evenly, but we had 2 A's in anime beforehand.
Right.
So we get the Aladdin twofer. Again, the Target exclusive. This one a little bit more expensive because they have been running 20. It's 25.
It's the power of Will Smith at work.
So I know. Well, the original Aladdin is right up there with Beauty and the Beast as far as I consider essential Disney viewing, and I have heard the Will Smith Aladdin was good.
In Will Smith Genie, yeah, he was good. He was not Robin Williams, but he should not have been. He was Will Smith.
I've heard that Jafar was better in the animated.
Jafar was far and away the worst thing they did in the live action remake. They pretty much neutered the character. And in the original, he only had half a villain song, and they didn't even give him that much.
Now, to me, I think that, this one is... the live action is not enough to really drag down the animated from a priority for me. If I did not have it, I would be willing to pick it up for that. Let me see what the let's see, special features. Oh, darn it! Stop. Okay, there we go. So we got alternate ending.
Oh, there's sing-along mode.
You got and more, and then over here you got deleted scenes, bloopers, a deleted song. So you got some decent stuff there.
Okay.
So where would you put it?
I'm sorely tempted to leave that a priority. I do love the first movie, even though parts of it have not aged well. Parts of it didn't even age past the initial release. They had to recut some of it right away. It's still a personal favorite, and Robin Williams' Genie will go down as one of the great roles of all time. And the remake is good. They made Jasmine much more kick-ass and gave her a pretty good new song. Aladdin is about par for the course, and like I said, Genie is his own thing, but he's good. If they had made Jafar as strong a villain as he was originally, the new one might have actually been pretty good. But it's decent. And just like the first one, it's not as big a drag on the movie to bring it down too much. So, and this is another one. I don't have the remake, and I have the original on DVD, so this pack is actually tempting. So I'll go with priority.
All right.
Yeah.
Hard to go wrong with Disney classic anime.
Right.
All right.
Now we have another multi-pack, and this is an interesting one.
We're getting a lot of these.
There's 3 or 4 of these this week, and I don't know what you never know with some of these what am I trying to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Criteria were. Now, the back of that shows nothing for bonus features. Is that true? Is there nothing for bonus features for this?
It does not look like it.
Well, is there anything in the item description? I don't know, because these might be repackagings of the original ones. You know what I mean? After some debate, we determined that the Fearless Females collection is simply a repackaging of existing material, so it does have bonus features. This is good. So the collection for me would be an upgrade of Elizabeth, which I do have on DVD, as well as 3 films I do not, on the basis of sex, Mary, Queen of Scots, and Harriet. So, in order, you got Elizabeth, the Oscar-winning film starring Kate Blanchett as the eponymous monarch, Queen Elizabeth. On the Basis of Sex features Felicity Jones as the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Harriet features Cynthia Erivo in an Oscar-nominated role as Harriet Tubman. And Mary Queen of Scots features Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie. And all of those are solid films acting-wise. And 3 of them are pretty darn solid films. Mary Queen of Scots was boring. With that said, they're all pretty solid films. I could use them all in the collection. I'm a huge fan of Ronan and Robbie, so even their lesser films are worthy of a spot. I'm tempted to give this. I would be tempted to give this a priority ranking. It's right on the border between that and Yes, Please.
I would probably give it a yes, please. So that'll take it down. I've got 2 out of the 3. Elizabeth is in DVD, much like yourself, and and I have Harriet on Blu-ray. So yeah, strong films. Worthy of having in the collection, if anything. And
no doubt.
Yep. So.
And you're not taking up a lot of space.
Nope.
One thing that concerns me is not knowing what this looks like when you open it. They might be stacked on a spool, for all I know.
If it's a spool, that would put it down the list for me.
Yeah.
All right. So, there's some Gundam.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right, so we have Attack on Titan Season 3. I actually have this in the split, but they do have it finally together. I only got it in the split because they got it in such a good deal. It was about the same as this cost right here. So,
nice.
As it is, I mean, you get basically the 3rd season, and there's only one more season to go of that. I think it's only 4 seasons long, if I recall correctly. Or it's going to be, anyway. So, it's kind of cool to be able to have it. I still need to watch past... I need to watch Season 2 and 3. Because I have yet to get either one of those. But they have some really cool animation and a really interesting story. I am eager to see what comes next. If only so many other things didn't stand in the way. But... This is one of those that it is a top-tier series. It would be on my list regardless. And this would be a priority for me because I have to have it. I would be getting it one way or the other. It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine.
Well, this one bears a lot of similarities with the previous one because you have the 3rd season of something that Funimation was doing split releases on. And because of those split releases, I dragged my feet on the first 2 seasons. I think I ended up getting them at about the same time, actually. I have seen 2 episodes of this one, and I've read the spin-off manga, or at least a couple of volumes of the junior high manga, which is totally different but fun. Though I look at this series with trepidation, I'd be very wary of calling it a priority without having seen Season 3. I don't know, even though I will be getting it, I'm not as hell-bent on getting it as I am with Railgun. So I'm going to have to probably err on the side of yes, please for that one, but it's a very high yes, please.
Oh, we got a very high-ranking list here today.
Yes, very much so.
Almost like last week.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Now we have a puzzlement. Very much a puzzlement. I don't know if you were... Wow, it's on Amazon for $13.
I couldn't find it on Right Stuff. I had to look up...
I know, they have no listing on Right Stuff. I don't think I checked Amazon. $12?
That's not bad.
That's amazing.
Technically, but yeah.
Okay, so we have Hatsune Miku, Magical Mirai, the magical future. From the look of the cover art, it makes you think it's an anime, but from looking at, I also could not find much info on ANN. And as far as I could tell, it looks like this is a concert from 3 years ago. What does it say here?
Let's see here. So
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, I could very well be. From what if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is from a concert that was in 2017. And I guess it's just a DVD of the show.
she's one of the first virtual, what do they call it? Virtual idols.
She is a virtual idol, and she is basically the standard bearer for, and for those of you out there who have no idea what we're talking about, she is a Japanese pop singer who doesn't actually exist, and yet she's huge. She has huge fan base, following, merchandising, concerts. Aniplex put out one called Live in Mykonopolis, which was her LA concert, and that's a super expensive. That's like $50 usually. So I'm amazed at how that Aniplex didn't do this one as well. But this is Cinedigm, right?
Yeah.
That's releasing it. So if you're interested, the one thing for me, the biggest thing for me that takes this down from a clear and definitive yes please to a weak yes please right on the border of curious is that much like when I went to see the Love Live Festival last year, I would have to watch this with no subtitles because they don't provide subtitles. So if you don't mind listening to Japanese pop music and having only a vague idea of what's being said, then have at it. If you want your subtitles, you won't get them with this set, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to put it right on the border between yes, please, and curious. I still want it, but I can't get excited about it without being able to know what's being sung.
So I'm going to take this fully down to curious.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I don't necessarily want to get into it because there's too much of it out there, and it's kind of put out haphazardly in many different pieces, so it sounds like it would be a real headache to collect. But at the same time, I do have an interest.
I'm not sure what you're looking at, though. If you're looking this as one piece of something,
see,
it's better to look at these as individual concert films. It would be the same thing as if you were collecting Queen DVDs, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, I have a hard time separating this from everything else that they put out. So, again, this is personal. This is our personal thoughts. So
right.
That's how I would be. I would have a hard time separating it. So it's.
I tell you what, if they would release that Love Live collection, I'd get that. That was a good concert.
And even if I was even if they had all the concerts available at a reasonable price, it'd still be a curious for me because I'm I'm not like I have to have it. I'm more curious. That really is where I'm at with that. So I guess that fits the definition fully. All right.
Curious, sir.
I'm not going to dwell on this very long. Cthulhu Mansion, I discussed it a few times ago. It's getting a release on Amazon on the 2nd. I really liked it as far as what I saw. If I remember correctly, I put it as a yes, please. You put it as a meh because you were curious, but you were just above the hell no stage for it.
Well, I think when we talked about it, I was willing to say a high meh. Because wasn't this, is it a Severin or Vinegar Syndrome? I can't remember. Yeah. And same with the Dark Tower, right?
Yep.
So is this I know it was at least a month ago, wasn't it? Is this just now they're coming on Amazon, so you're listing them?
Yeah, now they're coming on Amazon, this list. So now they're listed.
Okay.
So now it's a little bit wider availability.
Right. Well, that's You do it again just because Amazon got it. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that sounded right. I think I was meh the first time.
Yeah, I look at it as similar to when that Blockbuster thing went from only being
Right.
available in Blockbuster to being available
Right.
widely, because it's not just Amazon; it's available widely now.
Okay.
So it was
So going
only
from
available.
specialty
Yeah,
to
yeah, it was only
yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome, and now it's wide
Right.
release. So that's why
Okay.
I'm putting this up.
Okay.
So with those two there, it's like last time. Curious. Okay.
Sounds good.
Moving on.
Moving on. We got another 2-pack.
I had to give you
This
this
is
one.
not. Was it?
I had to give you this one because I know how much you love the series.
Oh yeah. This one, of course, is not a live-action pairing with an old one. It's simply 2 parts of a series. We have The Incredibles and Incredibles 2, 2 of Pixar's best films, and certainly 2 of their most entertaining films. And nice, slim little 2-movie collection. I already have both of these. I think I have the second one on 4K. I know I have the first one on Blu-ray. I have no need to upgrade them. It would be nice to save a bit of shelf space, but I do consider both of these essentials, and if I didn't, it would be a priority.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would say that it would be a priority if I didn't have them. So I think
Right.
that works well. They are some of the best that Pixar puts out. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I also have both of these on Blu-ray. So. All right, another quickie. I believe this one ranked about the same as Cthulhu Mansion.
That sounds right.
So
I might have even been. I can't remember if I was meh or curious, but I know it wasn't above that.
yeah, I know you didn't give it hell no, but
Right.
I think you gave it meh. I gave it yes please. So curious.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, moving on. Oh yeah, and
All
by the way,
right.
wide release from Vinegar Syndrome. Dun.
Right.
There we go.
Okay, now we got another one of those 4-packs. Inspirational 4-movie collection. And once again, it's kind of one older film, but these are all older films, but you have one from 88, 89, and then you have 3 of them from the early 2000 and aughts. So same sort of setup, but a little like 10 years off. And priced accordingly. This one's a little bit cheaper than the other one. But you have Kevin Costner's classic baseball drama, Field of Dreams. You've got the Tobey Maguire starring horse racing Seabiscuit drama. You got the boxing drama with Russell Crowe called Cinderella Man. And you got the football drama from Peter Berg with Billy Bob Thornton called, I believe it was Billy Bob Thornton in that one, called Friday Night Lights. All of those are good, solid films. They are good, solid sport. They are some of the better sports films out there. I would say Field of Dreams, Friday Night Lights, and Seabiscuit are near the top of those respective sports in terms of movies. Cinderella Man's more debatable. I've seen some much better boxing films out there. It's debatable whether it's all that inspirational too. But on the other hand, like I said, if you don't have these films and you like sports movies, this is a good collection to grab. If you just like good films, it's a good collection to grab. I have every single one of these on DVD, so this would be a really nice way to upgrade and save space. So, kind of like with the other one, not knowing how it's set up, I don't know that I can fully go priority, but it's a solid yes, please.
Yeah, I'm very tempted on this one because I have 2 out of the 4. I have Seabiscuit and Cinderella Man, and I've needed to get. Yeah, I've needed to get that one for a long time. And Friday Night Lights, because it is, even though I don't like football, it is a film that is a necessity.
Yeah.
But again, I would like to know more about what the set looks like on the inside. But, I could do worse with it. So, yes, please, we'll definitely.
All right.
This is the two things. We got the two types, Disney sets and these weird sets. That seem
Oh,
to
yeah.
have population. Speaking of,
And there's another one.
I believe this is my first one of these oddball sets.
Right.
Everyday Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the Oscar-winning Apollo 13. I believe it's an Oscar winner. We've got Backdraft, which was very, very well done movie. Aaron Brockovich, also an Oscar winner.
Right.
And an amazing film, which I know Jake likes just simply on the environmental case, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lone Survivor, which is okay. Out of the four, I consider Lone Survivor the lowest of these.
I believe that is also a Peter Berg film, if I remember correctly. One of like 10 he's done with Mark Wahlberg.
So that one's also tempting because you got two really good award-winning films there, and Backdraft is also high up there. I've got 3 out of the 4 of these films. I don't have Lone Survivor. I would be upgrading Aaron Brockovich and Backdraft, but at the same time, I'm not sure where it is. Much like all the other sets, I would say this is a yes, please, just because I don't know what it includes is as far as better. If it was a spool set, I would be definitely staying on the lower end. If I knew that these were separated, I probably would put it priority because it's got 2 Oscar winners right there, and Backdraft is also an amazing film. So
this one is a departure for me from the other two because I have not seen all of these. In fact, I've only seen half of them. I have never seen Backdraft, and I've never seen Lone Survivor. I do have Aaron Brockovich on DVD, and I think I have Apollo 13. It's kind of sad, but I can't say for sure. So this would be a good one for me to pick up because there's definitely 2 I don't have, and I would be upgrading and slimming down somewhat in the collection. Aaron Brockovich is a phenomenal film, and Apollo 13 is a solid film. I don't know that I would really call astronauts everyday heroes.
Oh yeah, all the time.
But on the other hand, it's still a good, solid collection. I'll go yes, please. Yeah.
All right. Boop. Boop.
Okay. Woo! So, speaking of upgrading and slimming down, I am in the process of upgrading and slimming down my Inuyasha collection. And we are up to set 4 of this series, episodes 84 to 111. Excellent series. This is a classic series. All Rumiko Takahashi series are worth at least a look, and definitely if you can pick them up, you should. I'm very thrilled that this one's getting Blu-ray release. Ranma got one. Maybe Meizunokoku will be next. Maybe. We can hope.
Maybe they can get Rumiko Takahashi to finally say, okay, fine, release the Rumik World special.
Yes, we need those Rumik World ones now. But as I have stated before, I have a hard upper limit of 25 per on these collections. I have 1 and 2. I do not yet have 3, 4, and 5 is already ready for pre-order. I will get them. It will happen, but there is a firm upper limit on the cost unless they go out of print. So
how? That was going to be my question. How firm?
Yeah, it is a priority. Definitely that.
I would say Inuyasha is for me a yeah. I'll leave it at priority. It's kind of on there because I swear the filler drags it down. But it's a good series overall, pretty solid.
See, I've never read the manga, so I'm not as clear on what was filler and what wasn't. When I watched the series, it dragged at times, but it wasn't like Naruto where there was a clear break where you knew from here on it's filler. And yes, it started to drag at that point.
I remember when the manga first debuted. It was one of the first manga to be simultaneously released in the United States and Japan. And then along the way, Japan decided, nah, screw it. We're going to just keep going. And the U.S. release was much slower. But it started out at the same time. So it was kind of cool to see it that way. So to me, it does have a special place in anime collecting history. Speaking of stuff that has a special place, Girls Rule Collection, which includes Mean Girls, Clueless, and She's the Man, which, by the way, is also getting a Blu-ray release this week.
Right.
But, they're all good films. She's the Man is the weakest of the three.
Right.
By far. But, and I've got Clueless and Steelbook. I do need to upgrade my Mean Girls copy. But, I'm in no hurry. It's not something that I feel like needs the Blu-ray treatment necessarily. But, eventually it's probably going to be upgraded. Maybe if they do a Mean Girls 1 and 2 Blu-ray set.
I keep forgetting there was another one.
See, there's the Clueless one right there, down here at the bottom. And there's
Mean
Girls on...
Wait a minute. Is that seriously $2.99? What?
Let's see here. That's for the Prime.
Well, that sucks. Yeah, my
there
hopes
we go.
up.
That's a
Damn you, Amazon.
That's a Clueless set I really liked there.
I have Clueless on DVD, and I had intended to get the new release when it came out. Still haven't gotten around to it, but I intend to. I do already have Mean Girls on Blu-ray. And like you said, She's the Man. It's not even on the same level. Like, Mean Girls and Clueless are classics. There's no doubt. She's the Man's a lot of fun, though.
I'll put that on the yes, please. If I didn't have them individually, I would get that.
If you don't have them, it's a good set to get. So I would say yes, please. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Next up, my favorite blonde.
I'm surprised you didn't put all the Bob Hope stuff on there. There was a lot. There
was no need to. I'm not a big Bob Hope fan, but there was a very specific reason why I chose this as the standard bearer. There actually were, I think it's 3 of them, right? 3 Bob Hope films coming out this week. Yeah, and they're all from like the early 40s. This one is a film from 42 called by Sidney Landfield. And this is why I had to put it on there. This is IMDb's description. Karen Bentley, an English secret agent, links up with Larry Haynes and his star penguin Percy in an attempt to outwit German spies. Any film that features a penguin trying to outwit German spies is worth a look.
Yep. Yeah, the other 2 are Nothing But Truth and Caught in the Draft.
Right.
You could get all 3 together for $60.93.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's a lot more than the individual price, isn't it?
Well, not really. $17.99, $17.99, $24.95.
Oh,
yeah.
So the one I had the least interest in is the most expensive. I see. But this one I have some interest in, and from the packaging, this is a Kino release, isn't it?
Looks like a Kino release.
Aren't they all Kino releases?
Let's see. Yep.
Kino Studio Classics. So
it'll go on sale.
As with most Kino releases, if it goes on sale for a good price, especially if they've got that going out of print thing attached to it, I will probably jump on it. But I can wait. This one's a curious for me. The others are a weak curious at best.
I'll buy that for $1. But yeah, I can go curious. I need to get a little bit more Bob Hope in my collection.
Exactly, yeah. I need to get some of the road movies. That was like him and Crosby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a lot of good stuff. Now here's one I'm surprised you didn't go after, which was
I thought about it.
Which is From Liberty to Captivity, which I believe is another one of those like overly expensive. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
Gravitas. Another Gravitas release.
Another uber expensive $45.
Holy crap, that's expensive.
But this one is all about sex trafficking in the United States. And
right. Specifically Pennsylvania, isn't it?
This is one that I'm curious about. I'm letting my hand slip a little bit early. Mainly because the people that have attached themselves to the sex traffic bandwagon are very QAnon-y. So I'd have to look at what the content is and make sure that this is more of a legit
Right.
documentary, not a Pizzagate documentary. If that makes
Right.
sense. It sounds like
Well,
it's
that
legit.
was part of the reason I was a little wary of it. What's the title? From Liberty to Captivity? Let me. There was one, and it might have been this one. Let me see. That I looked up, and it has no IMDb rating, but it did win a few awards. And winning a few festival awards, I think, bodes well for it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's enough for
yeah,
curious out of me, but I'd have to
yeah,
see it first.
yes. I'm definitely curious, but like you said, I'm not throwing down 45 on something that I don't know if it's legit or if it's more propagandist or
But
But it could be worth. It's worth a look, I'm sure.
but not worth $45.
Probably
Jeez.
not. Probably not.
Whew, they're expensive.
Yeah. And what's our next one? Pinocchio. So I had to double check on this one, and it turns out Roberto Benigni has been attached to two live action Pinocchio movies
Yes.
for whatever reason. His first one infamously ended in failure and ignominy.
Is that the Jonathan Taylor Thomas one, or?
I have no idea. But this one, he plays Geppetto in a retelling where Pinocchio himself looks pretty creepy. But it, from what I've read and seen, it looks like it could be good. It could be, if nothing else, quite interesting. I'm interested in how fascinated with the story Italians seem to be, particularly Benini seems to keep coming back to it. So I'm going to give this a curious, kind of like the previous one we discussed, that we just talked about. I'd have to see it before I know whether I regret that choice or not. But I'm certainly curious.
I'm leaning towards meh, but I could give it a very low curious.
All right.
Very low.
Well, movies with creepy ass puppets are fun, said the White Rabbit.
Speaking of stuff that's curiouser and curiouser, of course, the JoJo sets are continuing to come out with their
Right?
nice little standard sets.
Yeah, I think I just presented the proper version of this last week, if I recall correctly.
Set 5 of the Diamond is Unbreakable, which I believe is, I think, the third? The third, or...
Set 5 is the second part of Diamond is Unbreakable. What are you trying to figure out?
Second or third season, I can't remember.
It's
third or fourth season.
Is each arc quote unquote a season with this one?
Yes.
I think it's the fourth one.
So yeah, because the fifth one is the one that is that one's a different one. I remember the name of that one if I saw it, and again, I need to watch more than what I have, but it is a series I've always had my eye on.
Right.
I wish I had gotten the OVAs when they were still in print. But with luck, with all of these releasing, and by the way, season 5 being the last season, so far anyway, maybe they will go back and re-release the OVA. So for this one, it is, if I didn't have it, it would be an eventual get for me. All JoJo is a priority. So I have to if I'm treating it as if I didn't have it, I probably would be like, yes, I need it. I needs it.
Well, and as we said, when I presented the fancy set last week, those are so much cooler
They
than
are
these.
cooler.
I do already have this piece and one other piece of the series that does ratchet up to a slight degree my priority level. But having not seen the show and knowing how friggin' expensive it is, I still can only go yes, please, for now.
For now.
Yeah.
You'll
For
see
now.
the series and you'll be a JoJo file.
I know, I probably will. Okay, next up, he had to put this on my list because he was amazed I picked it.
Yeah.
A Shudder original called Scare Me. I really don't know a great deal about this. It looks interesting. It looks kind of amusing. It might be awful. I don't know. He is a much bigger Shudder fan than I am, but basically, you got two strangers stuck in their Catskills cabin during a power outage. Passing the time, they tell each other scary stories. And stuff happens as it does. I'm curious. I'll give it that.
I do like that they have a bonus feature called the Make Cool Shit Podcast.
Nice.
So yes, I'll go with curious. I don't know what to think of it. It definitely struck my interest when I was looking it over.
Right.
But I was like, I'll give him that one. It's rare that he ever talks about a horror one. I have to put that there. All right, so
Speaking of horror,
remember when I was talking about how sometimes the other might bring something down? Lion King is an amazing animated film, and of course, Target is releasing this double pack of the live action quotey fingers, a Lion King with it, and the original. Now
it's live action in the way that Cats and Dogs 2 apparently was, according to the Academy.
So to me, and by the way, Lion King, this one was very beautifully animated. I'm not gonna but it committed sacrilege on many levels, and and also on top of that, I have Lion King on Blu-ray, and even if I didn't have Lion King on Blu-ray, I probably would rather just get it on its own. Boy, that's saying something. So with that being said, for you're going to have to put it up to here, but to me, it's going to be a curious, because Lion King is a really good one, but in this pairing, I just don't think I don't know if I would actually.
Yeah, Lion King is an indisputable priority. There are no two ways about it. The original, the animated one. Even though, to this day, we're hearing constant talk about how they just ripped off Kimba the White Lion and how they ripped off Hamlet, and it's not at all original. I don't care. It's still a gorgeous, wonderfully musiced, fun movie. It's great. I don't care how derivative it is. Deal with it.
Had an amazing villain song to it.
What's that?
Had an amazing villain song to it that they screwed
up. It had an amazing villain song, and that was the greatest sacrilege of the remake. They butchered Be Prepared. They butchered it. And and I know it's one thing that when you have Jeremy Irons playing Scar, it's going to be so hard to match that. It was like if they had to try to match Robin Williams. No, why? In this case, they had Chiwetel Ejiofor go in a completely different direction, and it kind of worked. It wasn't the same. It wasn't a pale imitation because it was something different, but I think Will Smith did a better job creating a new character than Ejiofor did, and Ejiofor is great. But then they went and butchered the best song in the damn movie. Well, Circle of Life is the best song in the movie, but the other best song.
You know what they should have done with that? They should have just gone full-on nature documentary and just made it like, people are observing this taking place.
Right.
in nature.
They could have. Well, it's like I said, when they do the Aristocats remake, they just do cat videos narrated by celebrities. I could have done that.
Like
but,
I say, I know you have it as yes, please, because this one was an Oscar nominee.
It was an Oscar nominee. They were both Oscar nominees. Lion King was a winner. The original was a winner. So by definition, it has to be yes, please. But I'm going to agree with you on this one that the remake brings it down enough that I can only go yes, please for that.
Yeah. So with that, so it's a good thing I don't hold myself to have to get the nominees, or else I'd be stuck there with the yes, please on it.
Oh, another one. Uh-oh, that was my turn, isn't it?
Yep.
So, once again, this was not exactly a remake so much as a reimagining. We have Sleeping Beauty paired with the live-action film Maleficent. Now, Sleeping Beauty is, of course, a classic. It really is. One of the Disney films I did not really grow up with. I only saw it once or twice. I saw pieces of it, but I didn't really see the movie itself, but maybe once growing up. But I've seen it a few times since then. I have it. I have it on Blu-ray, as a matter of fact. Maleficent, I'd have to check. I don't think I have the sequel, but I don't think I have the first one, sadly. And I've only watched it once on a projection screen on a wall, so I have not gotten to see it in all its visual glory. I did get to see that it looked like a gorgeous film. I felt Elle Fanning did a great job as Aurora. Angelina Jolie, I usually love her. She overacted her head off in that movie. But it was still a fun movie. It was good. If you don't have the films, I would give this a good, solid yes, please, but I don't think I would go higher than that. Kind of, again, I would almost say get Sleeping Beauty and don't worry yourself too hard about the other one, but...
I'll give it the same on yes, please.
Yeah.
I've got both on Blu-ray, so it's not like I'm going to be, upgrading anytime soon to this. But both are good films. Sleeping Beauty is a stronger film, but yeah, yes, please is good. All right, moving on. We're at the upper pace. And with that, we've got Mila Jovovich's Monster Hunter. I have heard oddly...
Oh, Ron Perlman's in that?
Yeah, I've heard some oddly good things about this film from people who like Monster Hunter. So it might not be the level of sacrilege that Resident Evil is. Not that I would care as much because I couldn't give two licks about Monster Hunter. Back in the day when I would play a lot of video games, like a ton of them, maybe, because it's one of those time sink games. But it looks like it would be a good one. It's got a good cast. Mila Jovovich has proven herself to be a fairly decent action star. I am willing to... I know I'm going to be willing to watch it. I'm going to watch it eventually, regardless. This year, maybe even before the Oscars are nominated, but probably not because I've got like 70 films to look at beforehand, and that one is not high on that list. So I will put that as a curious because it's there. Almost to a yes, please, but not quite.
I had pretty much passed this one over, but given the cast, Ron Perlman alone, I think I can go curious.
All right.
Okay, we keep seeing that little Gundam video thing.
Well, they keep
and now we have a mystery. A mystery. NIS continues to confound us. They have released Volume 2 of Toradora on a standard edition Blu-ray set that does include the OVAs, but apparently they skipped Volume 1 for some reason. Volume 1 is available in a Blu-ray DVD combo, but for some reason they didn't see the need to create a Blu-ray only for Volume 1. Go figure.
Mismatch.
But I think we have spoken to a degree on Toradora on this channel. It's flippin' awesome. It is a great show. It was one of NISA's flagship titles. It was one of the very first ones they put out. It was the only one they got around to re-releasing in a condensed set other than A Lull in the Sea. And then they did a big set for Cardcaptor, but that was their first release of that one. So they did these 3 nice, big, great, gorgeous sets and then just stopped.
Yep.
But Toradora features probably one of my favorite tsundere in all of anime, the Palm Top Tiger, Taiga Asuka. And it's just a great, fun show overall. Again, phenomenal music. Pre-Parade, the theme from season 1 is, I just love it. This is a essential show. I would say categorically its priority. The absence of volume 1 is weird.
Let's say,
and a very high bar to entry for getting this set. But if you don't mind having a set that mismatches, you could get the volume 1 of the regular and save yourself some money on volume 2. So
oh yeah, well that volume isn't even in print. Actually, maybe it's because volume 1 is still in print and volume 2 is not.
I have the actual original volume 1 and 2 equivalent. This is what you would be getting if you ordered volume 1. Even though it's a DVD case, it is a DVD Blu-ray combo. Mm-hmm. And this is the one that goes with it. But if you either want to save that tiny bit of space, or you just can't find that, or you'd rather pay $30 than $45, well, you've got the option.
I would say this one is a priority. If this was, you never had it, and it was my only option to get it in physical, to do it that way, I would.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Though I probably would have paid out more trying to track down one of the other sets.
Right.
But yeah.
Because you like it, Patchy. It bothered me with the initial release. I had the big, fancy edition of set 2 and the standard of set 1. And because I had it, I couldn't bring myself to pay $150 for the remake. So I ended up getting those for I think it was $60 for both. But I would have liked to have that fancy set. I think you did get that.
So I'm going to move this quickly. Again, we are running low on time.
Right.
Rick and Morty is doing a condensed 1 through 4 set. They do this every time a new season comes out. Now, to me, I've got 1 through 3 on DVD. I'm waiting till season 4 on DVD is at around 10 to 15. Mm-hmm. It is a great series. It is worth collecting, but it's going to keep going. So getting this
is what's out so far, right?
Yeah. So getting all this, unless I had none of it, I'm not going to do this to condense because more of it's coming out. Right. So, but still, if you don't have it, it's a worthy thing to collect. It's not a terrible price, though.
Right.
But
if this set is on Black Friday for $20, I'd jump on it.
Oh, I'd jump on it for $20, definitely. But to me, I would say Rick and Morty is a yes, please, because it is an essential collection to have. But I feel like it can be weighted on the way that they release it. I feel like, especially if you want to collect it all in one small bit, I'd wait till the series ends. The way they're releasing it, it's darned likely to be released as a full-on combined.
Right.
Much like the Harley Quinn series.
Silence! I concur. Wrong show, but whatever. Anyway, next we have The War and Peace of Tim O'Brien. Tim O'Brien, famous for the book The Things They Carried. This is a documentary, I believe, about his work as a writer. I am very intrigued by this. I have, I believe, read the book, and certainly It looks like it could be interesting. I don't know why. We've got a $45 Blu-ray and a $15 DVD. I'm sorry, but this looks like a show I would happily get on DVD if that's the case.
It's the Blu-ray. They would have to be doing some major cleanup between the DVD and
This
Blu-ray.
is also Gravitas, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's got to be with that price.
That's a super treat. Gravitas at $14.99.
Right. I would like to get that, but again, I can wait. I'm certainly curious. I don't know that I'm any higher than that at this point, but
I concur.
Okay.
Moving right along.
All right.
So this has been released before. This version has, but this is a Target exclusive. Now this has not been released in the United States, though.
Oh.
It's weird that you have not seen a Toy Story 4-pack released here yet. Only on Target. You can get all 4 of these on Blu-ray. Now I got them all on like Steelbook, so
you lucked out on that. Sure.
When Best Buy had them, actually, I think I got all 4 of them together for close to that.
Yeah.
So,
you got. I think they were like 15 per. Yeah.
They were pretty cheap. So yeah, it was an offer.
This is a good price.
And they were 4K, I believe, too, which is also there. But again, this is what put Pixar on the map.
Yeah.
They're good movies. They're very solid movies. I do think that they're slightly overrated.
Slightly.
But I still think that they're a really good film. Set. I mean, basically the idea is it's all about letting go. But that's the whole of it. That's all of them.
Yeah.
But different ways of saying it, but essentially there. And so you've got some deleted scenes on it. I would want to know more because I do have some of the shorts on some of these that doesn't seem to have listed. I'm thinking they have them, but you want to make sure if you have this and you want to upgrade. So this would be, if I didn't have it, this would be an essential. So this would be a priority for me if they did not have it.
I could agree with that. That's a really good way to save some space on your shelf.
It's about the same width as 2 Blu-rays. Yep.
Looks that way, yeah. And finally, we have Frank Zappa's biopic, a biopic about Frank Zappa called Zappa, directed by Alex Winter of Bill and Ted fame.
Yay.
And I'm curious about it. I like a good rock documentary. I am intrigued by the fact that one of those two made a rock documentary. Keanu needs to, I guess, do one next that goes along with this, and they could. But I'm certainly curious.
I used to love Zappa in high school. The whole song about the Huskies, like, watch out where the Huskies go, and don't you eat that yellow snow. To me, it's fun. I would definitely get this for cheap enough. If I was in a buying mood and had the money, it would be there. So it'll be but I'm not sure I will put it on a wish list yet. So where did you rank it? I forgot.
I said curious.
Okay,
strong curious. It definitely is.
So we've hit it all. This is a very strong list. No miss.
Yeah.
No hell no's. Just like straight out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, neither one of us ranked anything there. Hell no. Wow.
Like you said, we had a fair bit of overlap this week. Surprisingly,
Scare Me was curious, I believe. But otherwise, that is still pretty darn good. We had a very strong week. But we did have some, a lot more Bob Hope. A couple more, like could have been maybe a horror anime here. Of course, I was tempted to do this New Year's concert. If I knew what was involved in it, maybe, because I like good like holiday type music and something like really strong that you could play with good imagery might be worth the stuff. Same thing with this crazy samurai film. But, fun stuff. But I hope that you've enjoyed this. Click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most of all, share it, because sharing is caring. And we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.